The alien child was shaking. Her small body was covered in dust and cold ash. The ground beneath her was broken, and the air was full of smoke. Loud alarms echoed across the ruined city. Ships were leaving. People were running, but no one stopped. For her, she tried to stand, but her legs were too weak. She fell again. Her thin fingers pressed into the ground as she tried to crawl. Her breathing was slow and painful. She will not survive, someone said while passing by. Another voice replied, "Don't waste time. The last ships are leaving." The child did not understand their words, but she understood their tone. She was not important. She was being left behind. Her eyes searched the crowd. Tall aliens, strong soldiers, and fast runners rushed past her. No one looked down. No one cared. A loud explosion shook the ground. She flinched and covered her head. A nearby building collapsed, sending dust into the air. The sky above was dark, filled with fire and ships flying away. She was alone. Very slowly, she lifted her head. Her vision was blurry. Her body felt heavy. She tried to call out, but no sound came from her mouth. Only a soft, broken whisper. No. One heard her. Far in the distance, a large escape ship was preparing to leave. Its doors were open. A long line of survivors rushed inside. Guards shouted orders. "Move faster, no space left." "This is the last transport." The child looked at the ship. It was her only chance. But it was too far. She tried again to move, one step, then she fell. Tears slowly formed in her eyes, mixing with the dust on her face. She did not cry loudly. She did not have the strength. But her small body trembled. Another explosion hit nearby. The heat burned her skin. The sound made her ears ring. She closed her eyes, waiting for it to end. Then footsteps. Heavy, slow footsteps stopped near her. For a moment, she thought it was just another person passing by. Another person who would ignore her. But the footsteps did not move. They stayed. She slowly opened her eyes. A figure stood in front of her. Not like the others. This one was different. The human looked down at her. His clothes were torn. His face was dirty. There was blood on his arm. He looked tired. Very tired. But his eyes were focused on her. The child froze. She had seen humans before. Strong, loud, fast. Many feared them. But this one was just standing there, looking at her. Behind him, people were still running toward the ship. "Hey, move!" Someone shouted at him. "We don't have time." Another voice yelled. The human did not respond. He kept looking at the child. She tried to move away, scared. Her body barely listened. She pulled herself back a little, her breathing shaking. The human slowly bent down. The child flinched. For a second, she thought he might hurt her, but he did nothing. He just watched her closely. Then he looked around. At the burning city. At the fleeing crowd. At the ship in the distance. Then back at the child. She was weak. Too weak. Anyone could see that. "She won't make it," a soldier shouted while running past. "Leave her." The human stayed silent. The child's eyes met his. For a moment, everything felt quiet. No explosions. No shouting. Just silence between them. The child slowly reached out her small hand. It was not strong. It was not steady, but she reached. Maybe she did not understand why. Maybe it was her last hope. Her fingers touched his hand. Very lightly. The human did not pull away. His eyes changed. Something inside him shifted. In the distance, the ship's warning alarm grew louder. "Final call. Doors closing." The human looked at the ship again. Then at the child. His jaw tightened. Time was running out. He knew it. Everyone knew it. The child's hand slipped slightly, her strength fading again. She was about to fall back to the ground. The human moved quickly. He caught her before she could hit the ground. The child's eyes widened. She was in his arms now. Warm. Safe. For the first time, but danger was still everywhere. The human stood up, holding her carefully. Voices shouted behind him. Are you crazy? You'll miss the ship. Leave that thing. The human ignored them all. He looked once more at the escape ship. Then down at the weak alien child in his arms. She looked up at him, her eyes full of fear. And something else. Trust. The ship doors began to close. The alarms became louder. This was the last chance. The human took a deep breath. Then he started running toward the ship. But even as he ran, his face showed one clear truth. He could not save both, and he knew it. The human ran as fast as he could. The ground shook under his feet. Fire burned behind him. The sound of explosions followed him like a shadow. In his arms, the alien child felt light. Too light, like she could disappear at any moment. Her small fingers held onto his torn shirt. Weak, but holding. The ship was close now. Very close. Stop. A guard shouted from the entrance. Doors are closing. The human did not stop. He ran faster. People inside the ship turned and looked. Some stepped back. Some stared in shock. He brought one? Someone whispered. Is that a child? Another voice said. No. That's an alien. The child buried her face into the human's chest. The noise scared her. The voices were loud. Angry. She did not understand the words, but she felt the rejection. The human reached the ship just as the heavy doors began to slide shut. Vuait! He shouted. A guard stepped forward, blocking his way. No more space, the guard said. We are full. The human looked past him. Inside, people were packed tightly. Injured, tired, scared. There was no room left, but he did not move back. Just one spot, the human said, breathing hard. She won't survive out here. The guard looked at the child. Then shook his head. None of us will survive if we don't leave now, he replied. Orders are clear. No more entries. Behind them, another explosion hit closer. The heat rushed over them like a wave. The child flinched again. Her grip on the human tightened slightly. The human looked down at her. Her eyes were half closed. She was fading. Please, he said quietly. The guard hesitated. For a moment, there was silence. Then someone inside shouted, Why are we waiting? Close the door. Yes, we're wasting time. It's just one alien. The human's jaw tightened. He turned slightly, shielding the child from the crowd. She is not just anything, he said. But his voice was tired. And the truth was clear. Time was over. The warning alarm changed tone. Final seconds. The guard stepped back slowly. I'm sorry, he said. The doors started closing. Again. Slow. Heavy. Final. The human stood there. Still holding the child. The gap was getting smaller. The slow. Heavy. Final. The human stood there. Still holding the child. The gap was getting smaller. Child looked up at him. Her vision was blurry. Her breathing was weak, but she saw his face, and for the first time, she did not feel afraid. The human made a decision. Fast. Without thinking again. He stepped forward. And pushed the child toward the opening. The guard reacted instantly and caught her. What are you? The guard started. Take her. The human said. The child was suddenly pulled away from his arms. Her small hand slipped from his shirt. Her eyes opened wider. Confused. Scared. She reached back toward him. The human stood outside. He did not move. He did not try to enter. He just looked at her. Wait! Someone inside shouted. There's space for one more. But it was too late. The doors were already closing. The human did not step forward. He stayed where he was. The gap became smaller. The child struggled weakly in the guard's arms. She reached out again, toward him. Toward the only one who stopped. Toward the only one who cared. The human raised his hand slightly, not to grab. Just to show her he was there. Until the end, the doors closed with a heavy sound. Silence filled the inside of the ship. The child stared at the metal door. Her hand still raised, her fingers shaking. Then a loud explosion outside. The entire ship trembled. Some people screamed. Lights flickered. The child fell silent. Very still. Her small body went weak again. The guard looked down at her. "She's not breathing well," he said. "Take her to medical." Someone shouted. But the child did not react. Her eyes remained fixed on the closed door. As if she could still see him. As if she was waiting. The ship slowly lifted off the ground, leaving the burning planet behind, leaving him behind. Inside, child finally moved. Just a little. Her lips parted. A soft sound came out. Very weak. Almost nothing, but close enough to hear. No one understood the word, but it stayed in the air. Soft. Broken. And full of something no one could explain. The ship flew into the dark sky. And the child closed her eyes, not knowing if she would wake up again, not knowing that this moment would change her entire life. The ship moved through space in silence. Inside, everything felt heavy. No one spoke much. Some people sat on the floor. Some stared at nothing. Others held their wounds and waited. The war was behind them. But it did not feel over. In a small medical room, the alien child lay on a narrow bed. Her body was still. Thin. Weak. Machines around her made soft sounds. Lights blinked slowly. A tube helped her breathe. "She is not stable," one medic said quietly. Another looked at the screen. "Her body is too damaged. She lost too much strength before we found her. She should not be alive," the first one replied. But she was. Barely. The guard who had taken her stood near the door. His face was serious. His arms were crossed. "She made a sound before," he said. "Right after we left." The medic looked at him. "A sound?" The guard nodded slowly, like a word. The medic shook his head. "That is not possible. She is too weak to speak." But the guard did not argue. He had heard it. Soft, broken, but real. The child did not move. Her eyes stayed closed. Hours passed, then more. The ship continued forward, away from the destroyed planet. Far away, where no one could go back. Suddenly, a small movement. Very small. One of her fingers twitched. The medic noticed immediately. "Wait." They stepped closer. The child's breathing changed slightly. Still weak, but different. Her eyes slowly opened. Everything was blurry. The lights above her felt too bright. The air felt strange. The sounds were unfamiliar. She tried to move. Pain shot through her body. She stopped. Her breathing became faster. "Easy," the medic said softly. "Do not move." The child did not understand the words, but she understood the tone. She turned her head slowly, looking around. Strange walls. Strange faces. Strange place. She was not on the ground anymore. She was not alone anymore. But something was missing. Something important. Her eyes moved quickly, searching. The guard stepped forward slightly. "She is awake," he said. The child looked at him. For a moment, she froze. Her body reacted with fear. Her breathing became faster again. She tried to move away, but she was too weak. "It's okay," the medic said gently. "You are safe." Safe. The word meant nothing to her. Her eyes kept searching, looking for one face, one person, the one who held her, the one who did not leave. Her lips moved slowly. No sound came out. She tried again, a weak whisper. The medic looked confused. What did she say? The guard stayed silent. He knew. The child's eyes filled with something. New. Not fear. Not pain. Something deeper. Lost. Her breathing became uneven. She tried to sit up. Her body failed again. Pain forced her back down. "No," the medic said. "She needs rest." But the child did not stop trying. Her small hands gripped the bed, her body shaking. She looked at the door, the same direction where she last saw Him, the closed door. The final moment. Tears slowly formed in her eyes. She did not cry loudly. Just like before. Silent. Weak. But real. The guard turned away. Slightly. He did not like this feeling. He had seen war. He had seen death. But this was different. She is looking for him, he said quietly. The medic frowned. Who? The guard did not answer, because there was no answer that could change anything. The child slowly stopped moving. Her strength was gone again. Her body relaxed. Her eyes remained open, but softer now. Empty. The medic adjusted the machine. She needs time. If she survives, it will be a miracle. If? The guard asked. The medic looked at the child, then back at the screen. We don't know yet. Silence filled the room. Again. The ship continued forward. Days passed. The child stayed alive, but she did not speak again. She did not move much. She only watched. Watched the door. Watched the ceiling. Watched nothing but inside her mind. Something stayed. A memory. Strong. Clear. A human face. A warm hold. A voice she did not understand, but felt. You will live. She did not know the words, but she felt their meaning. Deep inside. And slowly, very slowly, something began to change. Not in her body, but in her will. She was still the weakest. Still the smallest. Still the one no one believed in, but somewhere inside her, a small spark remained, and it refused to die. 8 years passed. The galaxy moved on, but the war never truly ended. On a distant colony world, far from the destroyed planet, life tried to begin again. Tall metal structures rose into the sky. Ships came and went. Different species lived together, but not equally. Some were strong, some were important, and some were forgotten. She was one of them. The alien child had grown, but not like the others. She was still smaller, still thinner, still called weak. Move faster. A trainer shouted across the yard. Young recruits ran across the open field. They jumped, climbed, and fought in pairs. Their movements were fast and sharp, but she struggled. She tried to keep up. Her legs moved, but not fast enough. Her arms lifted, but not strong enough. She fell. Dust rose around her. A few others stopped and looked. Then came the laughter. She's too slow. She doesn't belong here. Why is she even training? She said nothing. She slowly pushed herself up again. Her body hurt, but she did not stop. Not anymore. Again. The trainer shouted. The group started running once more. She followed. Step by step, always behind. Always last, but still moving. Later that day, the training ended. Others walked away in groups, talking and laughing. She stayed behind. Alone. She walked to the edge of the field and sat down quietly. Her breathing was heavy. Her hands were shaking. She looked at her palms. Still small. Still weak. Nothing had changed, or so they believed. Her eyes slowly lifted to the sky. Ships flew high above, leaving white trails behind them. She watched them in silence. Then very softly she whispered, "Da." The word was still broken, still unclear. But she said it anyway. She did not fully understand it, but she never forgot it. 8 years. And still the memory stayed. A burning world, a closing door, a human who chose her. You will live. She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them again. This time, something inside her felt different. Not sadness, not pain, something stronger. A quiet decision. That night, while others rested, she returned to the training field. No lights, no noise. Only darkness and cold air. She stood in the center of the empty ground. Then slowly, she started moving. One step, then another. She ran. Slow at first. Then faster. Her breathing became heavy again. Her legs shook, but she did not stop. She remembered something. The way the human had moved. Fast. Focused. Strong. Even when tired. She tried To copy that dot, she adjusted her steps. Shorter, sharper, more. Controlled, she ran again. And again. And again. She fell. She stood. Up. She fell again. She stood again. No one was watching. No one was laughing. There was only her. And the memory. Days turned into weeks. Weeks. Into months. She trained in secret. At night. In silence. She learned to move better. Not stronger, but smarter. She watched others during the day, copied their actions, improved them in her own way. She used less energy. Made fewer mistakes, slowly. She changed, but no one noticed, because no one looked at her. To them, she was still the weakest. Still the last. Still nothing. One day, during training, something unexpected happened. A loud alarm echoed across the base. Everyone froze. Then came the announcement. Warning, incoming threat. All units prepare for defense. The sky darkened. Ships appeared above. Enemy ships. The war had returned. Panic spread quickly. Recruits looked at each other, unsure what to do. Get into position. The trainer shouted. Weapons were handed out. Lines were formed. Fear filled the air. She stood at the back, holding a weapon that felt too big for her hands. Her heart beat fast. Her body remembered fear, the same fear from years ago. The same feeling of being left behind. Her hands trembled. For a moment, she almost stepped back, almost ran. Almost became that weak child again. Then, a memory flashed in her mind. A human standing in fire. A hand holding hers. A voice she never understood, but always felt. You will live. Her grip on the weapon tightened. Her breathing slowed. Her eyes changed. The fear did not disappear, but something else stood beside it. Something stronger. She stepped forward. Not fast. Not loud, but steady. The others did not notice. The trainer did not notice. No one saw her move, but she did. For the first time, she was not stepping back. She was stepping into danger, and deep inside, that small spark from years ago began to burn brighter. The sky above the colony burned with moving lights. Enemy ships hovered like dark shadows. Smaller attack crafts rushed down, fast and loud. The ground shook as the first blasts hit the outer walls. Panic spread across the base. Hold your positions. The trainer shouted. Recruits raised their weapons, but many hands were shaking. Some had never seen real combat before. Some wanted to run. She stood among them. Quiet. Still. Her eyes moved across the field, studying everything. The way the enemy ships moved, the way the soldiers reacted, the weak points, the mistakes. She remembered something. Not words, not clear instructions, but a feeling. The human had not been the strongest. He had been the smartest. He chose fast. He moved with purpose. He did not waste time. A loud explosion hit near the front line. Several recruits fell back in fear. They're too strong. Someone shouted, we can't stop them. The formation began to break. That was the real danger, not the enemy, but fear. She stepped forward, one more step. Now she was no longer at the back, still small, still quiet, but closer. An enemy craft flew low, firing bright energy shots. The blasts hit the ground in a straight line, forcing everyone to scatter. Everyone ran in different directions, except her. She watched the pattern. The shots were not random. They followed movement. Fast movement. She lowered her body, stayed still. The blasts passed right over her. She did not move. Her heart beat fast, but her mind stayed clear. Don't run blindly, she whispered to herself. A recruit nearby tried to escape, running fast across the field. A blast hit close. He fell hard. She reacted. Quick. Without thinking, she ran not straight, but in a curve. Low to the ground. Careful. Different. The enemy shots followed the open path. Not her. She reached the fallen recruit. He was injured, struggling to breathe. She grabbed his arm. Move, she said softly. He looked at her in shock. You. There was no time. She pulled him, slowly but steadily, toward a broken wall nearby. Another blast hit behind them. Closer. The heat burned her back, but she did not stop. They reached cover, safe. For now. The recruit stared at her. Confused. Double quotes. You saved me? She did not answer. Her eyes were already back on the battlefield. Watching. Learning. The trainer's voice came through a comm device. We are losing ground. Fall back. That was not the right move. She knew it. Falling back meant open space. Open space meant easy targets. She looked around, then pointed toward a line of broken structures. Go there, she said. The recruit frowned. What? Walls, cover. Better, she said in simple words. He hesitated. Then nodded. Together. They moved along the edge, staying low, using shadows, avoiding open ground. Others began to notice. A few followed them. Then more. Without orders, without plan, just instinct. They reached the structures. Now they had cover. Now they had control. Enemy shots hit the walls instead of bodies. The chaos slowed. The trainer noticed. Who moved them there? He asked. No one answered. Because no one knew. She stayed behind the wall, breathing slowly. Her hand still held the weapon, this time. They were not shaking. She peeked out, watched again. Enemy crafts moved in patterns. Same path. Same timing. Predictable. She stepped out, raised the weapon, aimed. Not at the craft. But ahead of it, where it would be. She fired. The shot hit. The craft shook, then crashed. Silence for a second. Everyone saw it. Who did that? Someone shouted. She lowered the weapon, stepped back, said nothing. Another craft came. She watched. Again. Waited. Then fired. Hit again. This time, others followed. They copied her timing. Her idea. One by one, the enemy craft started falling. The battle began to change from chaos to control. The trainer looked across the field. His eyes stopped on her. Small. Quiet. Standing behind the wall. Impossible, he whispered. The same recruits who once laughed at her now looked at her differently. Not with mockery, but with surprise. Respect. Confusion. The weakest one was leading without speaking. The fight continued, but something had changed. They were no longer running. They were fighting smart. And she was at the center of it. Not loud. Not strong, but steady. Focused. Like the human. Then suddenly, a loud, deep sound filled the sky. Different from before. Slower. Heavier. Everyone looked up. A massive enemy ship appeared above them. Bigger than anything they had seen. Stronger. More dangerous. The small victory meant nothing now. Fear returned, stronger than before. We can't fight that, someone said. The trainer went silent. Even he had no answer. The giant ship began to charge a weapon. A bright light formed under it. Growing. Dangerous. If it fired, everything below would be destroyed. People started stepping back again. Hope fading. But she did not move. She looked up at the massive ship. Her eyes calm. Her mind working. There was always a way. There had to be. She remembered the human again. Not his face this time, but his choice. He did not run, even when he knew the risk. Her grip on the weapon tightened. Then she stepped forward, alone, toward the open field, toward the danger. Someone shouted behind her. What are you doing? She did not stop. Did not look back, because this time, she was not the one being saved. This time, she was the one walking into fire. The ground felt different as she stepped forward. No cover. No walls. No one beside her. Only open space. And the massive enemy ship above. The light under the ship grew brighter. It hummed with power. The air itself felt heavy, like something terrible was about to happen. Behind her, voices shouted, "Get back! You'll die out there. But she kept walking. Slow. Steady. Her small figure looked even smaller under the giant shadow. Above, her heart was beating fast. Her body knew the danger, but her mind stayed clear. She stopped in the center of the field. Then she looked up. Watching. Studying. The ship was not perfect. No machine was. There were patterns. There were weak moments. She just had to find them. The light under the ship pulsed, not steady. It flickered slightly between waves of energy. That was it. A delay. Very small, but real. She raised her weapon, but then pause. No. This would not be enough. Not from here. Not like this. She lowered the weapon again and looked around. Her eyes scanned the battlefield. Broken machines, fallen equipment, damaged turrets. Then she saw it. A crashed defense cannon, half buried in debris. Not far from her position. Large. Heavy. But still connected to a power source. Maybe. If it worked, it could reach the ship. If not, she would die trying. She ran. Fast. Faster than before. Not in a straight line. Never straight. Her path curved, shifted, changed direction again and again. Above, the ship adjusted. The light locked onto her movement. Then it fired. A massive beam shot down. The ground exploded. Behind her. Heat burned the air. But she was not there anymore. She had already moved. Her steps were sharp, controlled. Just like she had trained. Just like she remembered. She reached the broken cannon and dropped beside it. Her hands moved quickly, checking wires. Panels. Power lines. She did not fully understand the machine, but she understood enough. Energy flow. Connection. Timing. Simple things. Important things. Come on, she whispered. Behind her, others watched in shock. What is she doing? She's trying to use that thing. It's destroyed. The trainer narrowed his eyes. No, he said slowly. Not destroyed. The child connected two broken wires. Sparks flew. The cannon flickered, still alive, but weak. She looked up again. The ship was charging. Another shot. Faster this time. No time left. She adjusted the angle of the cannon. Too heavy. It would not move easily. She pushed harder. Her arms shook. Her body strained. Still not enough. Then footsteps behind her. The recruit she saved earlier dropped beside her. I'll help, he said. She looked at him for a second, then nodded. Together they pushed. The cannon moved. Slowly. But enough. More footsteps. Others joined. No words. Just action. They all pushed. The cannon locked into position, pointing at the ship. The light above reached full power. This was it. One chance. She grabbed the control handle. Her fingers tightened. Her breathing slowed. Everything became quiet again. Just like before. Just like that moment years ago. Fear. And something stronger beside it. She waited. Watched the light. Waited for the flicker. There. A small break in the energy. Now. She fired. The cannon roared to life. Powerful blast shot into the sky, straight toward the ship. For a second, nothing happened. Then, impact. The blast hit the ship exactly at the weak moment. The energy under the ship broke apart. The massive weapon failed. The light exploded outward. The ship shook violently. Smoke and fire spread across its surface. Cheers erupted behind her. It worked. She did it. But she did not celebrate. She kept watching. The ship was damaged. Not destroyed. Still dangerous. Still alive. And now, angry, smaller attack crafts rushed out from it. Faster. More aggressive. The battle was not over, not even close. The trainer stepped forward, his voice strong again. Hold positions. Follow her lead. For the first time, he said it. Her. Not them. Anyone else. Her. The weakest child. Now the one leading. The others looked at her. Waiting. She stood up slowly. Her body was tired. Her hands burned, but her eyes were steady. She pointed toward the structures. Again. Then to the sky. Simple signals. Clear. They understood. They moved. Faster this time. More. Confident. They trusted her. The fight continued. Stronger. Better. Smarter. In the middle of it all, she stood there. No longer the forgotten one. No longer the weak child. But not finished yet. Because above them, the massive ship, still burning, began to open its core, a final weapon, bigger than before, more dangerous than anything they had faced. Ground trembled again. Fear returned once more. Someone whispered, "We can't stop that." She looked up at it. Silent. Focused. Thinking. There had to be another way. There always was. But this time, the cost might be everything, and she knew it. The sky turned white, not bright like the sun, but heavy, burning, and full of danger. The massive ship above had opened its core. A deep, glowing center formed in its body. Energy gathered inside it, stronger than before. The air shook with a low, powerful sound. Everyone on the ground felt it. This was not just another attack. This was the end. "We need to fall back." Someone shouted, "There's no way to stop that." Fear spread again, stronger than before. Even the trainer stepped back this time. He had no plan. No answer. Only one truth: if that weapon fired, everything below would be gone. She stood still, looking up, watching the core. Her eyes did not show fear now. Only focus, only thought. There had to be a weakness. There was always a weakness. She remembered the earlier attack. The delay, the flicker. But this was different. Stronger. Faster. Harder to break. She took a slow breath. Then another. Her body was tired. Her arms were heavy. But her mind kept moving. She looked around again. The battlefield was broken. Weapons damaged. Energy low. Nothing strong enough to stop that blast. Nothing. Except one thing. The cannon. Still connected. Still alive. But unstable now. Too unstable. One more shot like before, and it might explode. She understood. If she used it again, it would not survive. And maybe neither would she. The others were moving back now. Running. Trying to escape. The same as before. The same fear. The same moment. Her heart beat faster. For a second, she felt it. That old feeling. The fear of being left. The fear of dying alone. She closed her eyes. And then she saw it again. Fire. Smoke. A broken world. A human standing in front of her. Choosing her. Saving her. "You will live." Her eyes opened. Clear. Calm. She turned back toward the cannon. And started walking. Not fast. Not slow. Just steady. The trainer saw her. "Wait," he shouted. "Don't go." She did not stop. Others looked at her too. Confused. Shocked. She's going back? Is she crazy? The recruit she saved stepped forward. "I'm going with her." "No," she said softly. He froze. It was the first time they heard her speak clearly. "You stay," she added. Her voice was quiet, but firm. He did not argue. He could not. She reached the cannon. Placed her hands on it again. It felt hotter. Now. Unstable. Dangerous. The ship above began its final charge. The core grew brighter. Louder. Closer to firing. No time left. She adjusted the aim. Higher. This time, directly at the center. At the core. Her hands tightened. She knew the risk. She accepted it. Behind her, the trainer shouted one last time, "Fall back." "That's an order." She did not move. Orders did not matter. Now, only the moment. Only the choice. Just like him. She waited. Watched the energy build. Waited for the smallest break. The smallest mistake. Then dash there. A tiny flicker. Almost nothing, but enough. She fired. The cannon screamed, louder than before. Stronger. Unstable. The blast shot upward with full force, straight into the glowing core. For a second, everything stopped. The sound. The movement. The world. Then, Impact. The core cracked. Light burst out in all directions. The ship shook violently. Energy exploded inside it. The massive weapon failed. A chain reaction began. Fire spread across the ship's body. Systems collapsed. The sky roared. It's breaking. Someone shouted. She hit it. The giant ship began to fall apart. Slow at first. Then faster. Pieces broke away, burning as they fell. The final explosion lit the sky. Bright. Powerful. And then silence. The threat was gone. The war above them ended. People slowly stopped running, stopped shouting. They turned back, looking at the battlefield. Looking at the sky, then looking at her. She was still standing by the cannon. The smoke around her slowly cleared. Her body was shaking. Her hands dropped from the controls. The cannon behind her sparked, then died. She took one step back, then another. Her strength was gone. Her vision blurred. But she stayed standing for a moment, just a moment. She looked up at the sky again. Quiet. Peaceful. Now. No fire. No ships. Just stars. Her lips moved softly. You said, I will live. A small breath. I did more. Her body gave out. She fell to her knees. Then to the ground. The trainer ran forward. Others followed. They reached her quickly. She's alive, someone said. Get medical. The recruit knelt beside her. You did it, he whispered. Her eyes opened slightly, just enough to see the sky one last time. Not the burning sky from before. A calm one, a safe one. Her breathing slowed. But this time, it was not fear. It was peace. The weakest child, the one they left behind, the one no one believed in, had become the one who saved them all. And far beyond the stars, in a place no one could see. A choice made years ago had changed everything.